In February, the Walla Walla community voted to pass the first ever capital levy in Walla Walla Public Schools history. That is nearly $15 million of a project which passed with a 58% vote. Crews started earlier in the summer on the new amenities at Walla Walla High School, including the new turf fields, which are nearing completion. Apple Valley News Now's Rylee Fitzgerald says practices on the JV field have started and athletes are thrilled to be on it.
Do you prefer to play football on this kind of ground or on a grass field?
On this ground right here.
Walla Walla Public Schools Superintendent Wade Smith says the committee for the outdoor athletic and activity facilities chose the top-of-the-line turf that's on the market. That is Hellas's Matrix Helix turf. And the safety testing came back and the results speak for itself.
ASTM sets a max rate of 200 is a score of 200. The National Federation of Artificial Turf recommends about 165 or less. We actually came in at 95 as an average Gmax across our field, which is actually equivalent to the national football standards for natural grass fields. And so our field rivals a natural grass, state-of-the-art NFL field right here in Walla Walla Public Schools.
And the athletes are happy with it too. Practices have started on the JV field, while the varsity field is still under construction.
Every time you cut, I'm not afraid that I'm gonna like slip and then fall on my butt. It's just a really nice, high-quality field.
Carter Chevelle, a senior Blue Devil football player, says the team can cut faster and run faster.
The quality is amazing, and having this new natural little bead stuff in the turf, way better than that stuff they have in Tri-Cities.
Many of our students participate in other artificial turf fields across the region, and most of them contain, again, the crushed rubber, which is black and it just maintains the heat and sucks the moisture out of the air. This actually contracts and brings in the moisture and cools it down because of the color of the infill.
Those little beads, Chevelle mentioned, Superintendent Smith explains, are actually crushed olive pits. The committee spent a lot of time determining which infill to go with. The one they chose is a recyclable thermo blend.
It's a mixture of natural cellulose fibers and, believe it or not, crushed olive pits left over from the olive oil pressing process. And so when you combine those two together, it's an all-natural organic infill that's actually 30 degrees cooler than crushed rubber and completely recyclable.
Well, I mean, it's hot, but it's not as hot as the other turf fields that I've ever played on. I mean, those fields get piping hot to where it's you can't even sit on the ground.
The Trident JV field is completed and the varsity field is nearly there. Next up, more stadium amenities will be constructed. Crews are drilling for the first lights the school has had on any athletic field. Then there's the 2,500-person bleachers, a concession stand, restrooms, team rooms, and more on the way to Trident Field. In Walla Walla, I'm Rylee Fitzgerald with Apple Valley News Now.
What a cool story, Rylee. Thank you for that. Superintendent Smith says the district hopes to get more than 15 years out of the field. The levy also includes replacing the Wahai tennis courts, building the JROTC Raider course, and more. The varsity football team takes on Kamiakin Friday night at 7 o'clock, and that's a home game.